Yeah, we'll start with Justin Spears, Arizona Daily Star.
So, Bryce, it seems like every year we as media and fans like to talk about how much tight ends will be used this year. What have you seen so far, and what are you expecting how the position will be used?
Yeah, I know that's definitely a question that arises every year, but this year it's looking pretty good for the tight end position group so far. We're on the field a lot more than we have been in the past, both in the run game and the pass game. So it's definitely been fun to get out there and be involved a little bit more.
And what have you seen out of Stacy Marshall so far through camp?
I mean, Stacy's a great kid. He's got a big frame. You know, he's athletic. He can block. So, you know, what we've needed the past couple of years in this position group was depth, and I think that's kind of what held the group back a little bit. So he definitely brings that level of depth to the group, and that's definitely going to help us out in the long run.
Next question will go Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
Yeah, just piggybacking a little bit on what Justin was asking about, I asked Grant Gunnell earlier today about tight end usage, and he said that in his opinion, the tight end was always open. Do you express that same sentiment to him?
Oh yeah, I saw that, and that made me chuckle. We talked about that in the locker room today, but oh yeah, I tell him that all the time on the field and stuff. I'm joking around, like, man, check it down, you know, 3-yard, 4-yard flat route, you know, I'm always open. So we joke about it, but in reality it is. And in this offense and the scheme and all that, you know, the tight end is open a lot. So
we've heard from many people about Grant's development. What is the biggest change that you have seen in him over the last year or so?
He's improved a lot, but the thing that stood out to me the most is arm strength. He this past offseason, I know he spent a lot of time on that, and he can now stretch the field with his arm, make big time throws. So that's definitely the biggest improvement I've seen.
Do we have any more questions for Bryce? Yes, Michael, go ahead. Michael, you're muted. Michael, you're muted.
Muted.
I think you're muted.
Hey, there he is.
Okay. At any position, either side of the ball, who are the freshmen who have stood out the most to you?
Oh, I think Dylan on offense has really stood out. He's stepped up, and you know, for a kid that is coming in, you know, you're embraced with a whole new offense, whole new playbook. He's been taking reps. You know, he's been taking reps with the rest of us, so he's been thrown in with the 1s and 2s and all that kind of stuff. So for him to go in there, and he's been making big plays, scoring touchdowns. So, you know, the more he gets comfortable, you know, with the offense, the more of an impact he's going to have. So he's one that's definitely stood out to me so far.
Sure. This could be your last season here. You also could come back next year, even if you played all 7 games. Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, I've thought about it a little bit. You know, I want to maximize my time in college football as much. You know, I'm not ready to hang up the cleats yet. That's for sure. So as of right now, I have no plans of leaving or not playing next year. So
have you had those kind of discussions with others who are in a similar boat as you, who are seniors or, you know, kind of have getting that extra year for free?
Yeah, I think I have, and I think it definitely depends on the person. You know, there's some guys that, you know, maybe football just hasn't been their thing. They don't really love it. You know, they're great and ready to go in the workforce. They want to make some money instead of staying around for next year, paying another year of college. So I think it definitely depends on the person, but I would say the majority of guys that I've talked to definitely are looking to use that next year as an advantage to them. So
thanks.
Our next question will go Jason Shear, Wildcat Authority.
Hey, Bryce, obviously you get a close look at the offensive line every day. What have you seen from them so far in camp, and maybe how have they improved from last year?
Yeah, our O-line is doing a heck of a job. You know, a guy, Jordan Morgan's really stood out to me at left tackle. He's just so athletic. I joke around him all the time about how he should be playing tight end. He can run, you know, he can block, pass pro, all that. But really, as just a unit, I think it's been huge. And getting Donovan Layback also, that was kind of scary for a week or so there. Nobody really knew what was happening, but we got him back, so that was nice. But our offensive line's looking really good.
We'll go back to Michael Lev for the next question.
So you've been around this program for a while. Do you feel like Arizona football gets the respect that it deserves nationally, or is that something that needs to be earned?
I don't think we get the respect that we deserve. But on the other hand, we got to go out and prove it. So I think this is a big year for us. Seems like the last 3 years, everyone's going in the season doubting us, picking us, second or third last in the Pac-12, and that's something that, especially this year, I've noticed guys have taken that personally. Guys have taken that personally upon them to get rid of that mantra around our program or that stigma. And so we're definitely looking to change that up this year, and it's going to take everybody, but I know that we got the guys to do it.
I've heard a lot of guys say that they have the mentality of going 1-0 today. Have you been tossing that phrase around, or do you believe in that kind of idea?
Oh yeah, that really started with our strength coach Brian Johnson. I can't say enough good things about him. He's such a good leader for us, both in the weight room and just a great mentor. But yeah, that really started with him, and that's carried to all our players, and that's kind of the mindset that we have to go into the season with. We can't look too far ahead in the future. We just got to look at one day at a time. Get 1 or 2% better that day, and when it comes game time, we'll be that much better and ready to roll.
Great. Thank you, Bryce. We'll be back in just a minute with Christian Young. All right, we'll start taking questions for Christian Young. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Yeah, we'll start with Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
Hey there, Christian.
What's going on?
Hey, what's up? So we were talking to Jamari Joyner the other day, and he was saying that you guys often will go up against each other in practice. What are those matchups like? And he also said there was a lot of trash talk involved. So what are
always that, always that between wide receiver and DBs. But Jamari, he's a great talent. I feel like he's a NFL type of receiver. I feel like he's gotten way better. Start from quarterback and going to receiver. I feel like he got a great future ahead of him. But I like going against Jamari every day. I feel like it makes me better, pushes me out of trash talking shit. He one of the best in the Pac-12 in my eyes. So going against him every day, I feel like it's gonna prepare me for like a lot of good receivers in the Pac-12.
Sure. How is your role in this defense different from what it was in the previous defense?
I feel like with all the transferring going on and all the guys that left, seniors and some other dudes, I feel like I've taken a big role in the secondary as a leader, stepping up. I'm playing safety, so I got to communicate and help a lot of the young guys that came in, freshmen and sophomores. So I feel like I've taken a bigger role leadership-wise and growing up, getting older, maturing as a player.
Sure. We had the spur, the bandit, and the free safety in the old defense. I think this one has just the free and the strong.
Yeah, just the free and the strong.
And you're at the strong safety, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So what are kind of the main responsibilities of that position?
Well, I'm playing to the field, so I'm mostly to the field a lot, and I'm usually the one making all the calls, seeing all the motion and all that type of stuff going on. So I'm seeing a lot of more things at the free, but I like it. At the field, but I like it a lot though.
Did you like having this added responsibility that you referenced?
Yeah, I like that. That means the coaches see a lot in me and feel like I could take that responsibility. So I like having a lot of pressure and all that responsibility on my shoulders. So
Next question will go Justin Spears, Arizona Daily Star.
What was the most challenging part about last year when Coach Yates got fired and then Coach Cecil took over the defense? From your perspective, being a part of that, what was most challenging about that part?
Probably just all the adversity. You feel me? Going from a whole different defensive coordinator to a whole nother coach. It's a lot of things that go through people's minds. So just another coach getting fired and then having to play like the next week and having to get through a whole new defense and a scheme that Coach Cecil wanted. I feel like that was just the biggest part of that.
And do you feel like this year is almost like a clean slate for a lot of you guys, considering the whole defensive staff is new?
Yeah, I feel like it's a clean slate. You know, you get to you get to put your face to the new coaches, and you get to start over basically. So with a whole new defensive scheme and a whole new coaching staff, I feel like it's a great opportunity for a lot of guys to prove themselves this fall camp and this season.
Next question will go Jason Shear, Wildcat Authority.
Hey, Christian, a lot of times when people are talking about Arizona football, the defense comes up and they kind of point to last year, whatever it may be. What would you say to those people about your confidence, and a couple of the other guys have said it too, that the defense is going to be better this season?
I feel like a lot of the schemes that Coach Rose put in, that it puts a lot of dudes in positions that they're going to be successful in. So I feel like this defense that we're running a multiple defense, a lot of different guys on the field. I feel like it's going to put us in a lot of successful positions. So I feel like we are going to be better as a defense.
All right, we have time for one more question. We'll go back to Michael Lev.
How would you assess your career at Arizona to date?
I feel like I haven't proved myself like I wanted to. You know, I made a couple plays here and there, but I haven't done what I wanted to at this school. So I'm hoping this season and the next season that I get to do what I really supposed to do at this school and prove myself.
Who is the free safety that you're paired with the most, and what's it like to work with that guy?
Reddy Short. I like Reddy. I feel like Reddy. This is his first time starting and playing at the University of Arizona. So I feel like me and Reddy, we work good together, and I feel like us being on the field, we make each other better. And I can kind of I've had experience on the field, so I can kind of help Reddy and lead him in a way. But I feel like we both make each other better, so I like playing with Reddy a lot.
Sure. And I've asked just about everybody this, but is there a freshman on either side of the ball or at any position who's kind of stood out to you the most or impressed you?
I like Frank Brown on offense. You know, young running back. He got great size and he got great speed coming out of Houston. I mean, that's expected. So I mean, I feel like that was expected from him from before he got here. So I mean, yeah. So
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Christian. We'll be back in 1 minute with Coach H. All right, we'll start taking questions for Coach H. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Yeah, we'll start with Michael Lev, Arizona Daily Star.
Hey there, Coach H.
Lev.
So we ask every year, we ask the tight end every year, we ask the quarterback every year. Is the tight end going to be more involved in the passing game this season? What do you say?
I said I told Moose exactly what to say to you, but no, in all seriousness, since now you're boxed since 2020, instead of a real person in front of me, yes, the tight ends are going to be involved. We've got some good guys we're developing. Obviously, Bryce has been here for 4 years. He is a solid Pac-12 contributor. So obviously we're excited about him and hopefully what he can do this season. As you heard him and his future plans. Stacy Marshall is a guy we're continuing to develop. Obviously, he got here at the mid-year, but again, he brings that long frame, athletic body that, again, we were looking for to help complement Moose, or Bryce, I should say, excuse me, to be able to do a lot of different things with, and hopefully get those guys on the field at the same time as much as we can.
Sure. Stacy seemed to show an aptitude and a desire to block on his junior college film. Have you noticed that in these practices as well?
Oh, absolutely. And that was one of the reasons, Coach Summerlin and I went up and signed and and recruited him. So because we knew he was that guy that can bring a twofold part to the tight end position where he can put his hand on the ground as well as be able to be a flex guy, a move guy, or we can line him up and he can turn to a Gronk hopefully someday.
Our next question will go Jason Shear, Wildcat Authority.
Hey, Coach.
What's up, Jason?
Just wanted to see if you could kind of break down the overall depth at your position, just what you like about it, some guys that have maybe stepped up.
I want to start tight ends. I kind of just touched on that just a second ago. Obviously, Bryce Wilma and Stacy Marshall have come in this camp and got the majority of the rep. Connor Hutchins and Zach Williams, have also are guys that we're trying to develop at multiple positions. So those two guys are the guys that are focusing not just on one position, but they've got to be able to line up and do everything with their skill sets, their length. I think that's something that really gives us a unique group this year that we haven't had, that ability to be able to flex guys out and also play them in the box. If you want to talk slots, obviously Jamari Joyner, I mean, everybody, you guys can go on for days about him. He made the transition literally in August last year, and his best football is so far ahead of him. I mean, he hasn't even begun to scratch the surface. Tavion Cunningham, Brian Castile, guys that contributed for us last year. I think all three of those guys were three of our four leading receivers, if I recall, coming out of last year. So, so we're expecting big things from those guys. Jaden Mitchell, is coming off a good off season. So he's going to be able to step up and do some great things for us. We've had a couple guys also make some transition from the outside receiver room to inside. Dylan Mitchell, Thomas Reed, and a couple other guys. Stan Berryhill can also bounce back and forth and do both.
With Brian Castile, it feels like he's always been really close to breaking out. How close do you think he is to finally kind of getting over that hump? Because you could tell the talent that he has.
Oh yeah, and you guys saw a little bit of it against USC last year. I mean, obviously, he got us going late in the game. He had a really solid game against Colorado. Some different things. If you watch Brian through the years, he's just continued to develop, and he's such a headsy player. Kind of like Jamari, he's a little more polished as a receiver, but yet at the same time, he's still got a huge ceiling, and we haven't tapped into it yet. So that's the goal this fall, to be able to utilize him and show his versatility, both, from lining up at different positions, I should say, excuse me.
Next question will go Jacob Minuti, Daily Wildcat.
What can you say about Frank Brown? I mean, obviously he's listed as a running back, but a solid amount of his tape was at slot receiver. I mean, how have you guys been using him? Can we see him early on, you think?
Well, I'm a little biased since I recruited him, but no, Frank, as you heard CY talk earlier, I mean, he is a special talent, and you guys, like you said, you've seen him take a punt 99 yards, and that's the type of guy he is. So Frank's really getting settled into the offense. He's done a great job helping Coach Springer out in different areas in other parts of the game as well. And yes, I do see Frank Brown being a guy that's going to help contribute early.
We'll go back to Michael Lev for the next question.
I know you can't name names when it comes to unsigned recruits, but you guys have several commits from New Orleans, and that is kind of your neck of the woods where you're from. Why is that an important area, do you feel like, for the Arizona program?
I think one thing, and we found out this again when we went back and got Jabbar Triplett, we've had Jarius Wallace, Shun Brown. There's a lot of good football left. And again, I'm biased because I recruit Houston too in East Texas. But you can continue to go right down I-10 and still find guys that are hungry, that are looking for an opportunity. And the surprising thing, again, like myself, we all want to go west, so it's really an easy sell. Now this year was different. Obviously we had to sell guys, through Zoom like this. So, but once they get here, once we show them the pictures, we go through the virtual tour. Cody Moore, our recruiting director, did a really fantastic job with those guys, really talking to the parents. I think that really helps solidify it. And, like I said, it worked out great for us.
How would you describe the overall recruiting experience during the pandemic?
Unique, I'll just say. So it really, I think as a recruiter, as a coach, it really helps you learn to focus in on just truly developing a relationship. There are some times, I got to admit, we're boom, 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 trying to see so many kids and so many days and so many schools. And you guys see our maps every day. I mean, I could be in Kansas in the morning, and be in New Orleans at night, so, and anywhere in between. So where now I had a lot more time to really settle in and focus on those certain kids and develop those relationships, find out what that kid and that family is really looking for. And I think that's really probably the biggest thing I learned this recruiting season, to just really kind of almost slow down and catch a deep breath.
Do you think based on that there will be fewer decommitments than usual leading up to signing day? Do you think there will be more because guys haven't had a chance to visit campuses and so forth?
That's the question of the year. The advantage is nobody can visit campus. The disadvantage is nobody can visit campus. So yeah, honestly, this is going to be an interesting recruiting cycle. But I do notice, other than maybe possibly some school up north, that most guys are sticking with their commitments and, on both ends. Now, again, we all know we're talking 17, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. I mean, it's recruiting. There's no perfect science. But like I said, I think what we've done, our plan that Coach Sumlin helped us all put together this spring, really helped us build a move forward. And that's really what we were focused on.
Thank you.